Welcome to episode 6 of OK Takes, the podcast that is the limbo between awful and extraordinary. After Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Bucks and Suns, it's official. Suns in 4 is dead. So we're going to recap Games 2 and 3 of the NBA Finals. Going to go into the Game 2 a little bit, but mostly dive into Game 3. So then after talking some NBA Finals, we're going to be talking about the boys in blue because they put on a historic show this weekend. I was able to witness Saturday's 22-run performance. Incredible, greatest game I will ever see in my life. And I got to see Josh Reddick getting some beautiful poetic justice. Something that's been long awaited, that we haven't fully got to relinquish, and we got it. We finally fucking got it. It was great. All right, so we're going to talk some quick Game 2. The synopsis of this game was the Suns got really hot from 3. Monty Williams said, it's okay if Giannis puts up 40 on us. We're just going to force Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton to beat us, and they didn't.
Nope. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, and the 20 of Giannis's 40 points came during the third quarter, and it was incredible. He was fouled 7 times, and he went 10 of 14 from the line.
That's unheard of.
They literally just said, "Yeah, we're gonna tear you to shreds. We're gonna pull you apart." It literally reminded me of Bountygate with your team, the New Orleans Saints.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of this Bountygate.
Yeah, in one ear out the other. With like Greg Williams. Like, does anybody know where Dr. Heat was the night of Game 2? Because he's like Monty Williams had to have been in contact with him, because this is taking a page out of his book. I mean, there is at one point, I'm pretty sure I saw on Monty Williams' whiteboard during the huddles that they show in between the timeout or between the commercial timeouts, where it was like, okay, here's 10,000. So it had Giannis injury menu, 10,000 for a shoulder tweak, 15,000 for a torn ACL, 20,000 for a broken nose, and then 30,000 for pretty much death, whatever's the close, like concussed, to pretty much make him look like Brett Favre. I think that was actually 30,000, just make him look like Brett Favre.
Yeah, I mean, and also tonight, which I know we will get to, he was fouled. I think he shot 17 free throws tonight, so that's clearly in the game plan.
It is, just make him do what he's not good at, and he's not great. But like you said, shoot 75%, and he's pretty much almost right there.
That's all you need, 75%.
And it showed, but it was just so frustrating going from Game 2 to Game 3, because the Suns' ball movement was so beautiful that there's dads in
Spurs-esque. San Antonio Spurs-esque.
Yeah, it's like the Popoviches of the world, but like also the dads who grew up in Indiana, who from like the 70s, who have watched Hoosiers probably 300 times, and find a way to, like, when they're watching their son, like, elbowing them and be like, hey, remember that scene? Remember that scene where they're not practicing with the ball? Remember these fundamentals?
Yeah, Suns are a big fundamentals team, kind of like the Spurs.
Exactly, but the one specific play from Game 2 where there was 9 passes made, everyone touched the ball, and then it ends with Aiden cutting to the rim and getting the dunk and one. Beautiful. They put the fun in fundamentals.
Yep. And there was a play on the Bucks end. I immediately texted you after I saw this, because such a momentum killer. Yes. I mean, the Bucks were kind of storming back. They had got the lead down to 6, I think, 6 or 7. Fast break. Connaughton has the ball. Open 3, decides to pass it. Short arms it, stolen. And from that point on, the Suns took control back of that game. For a moment, though, it looked like the Bucks were going to maybe climb back in. There was like 3.5, 4 minutes left, but that turnover, I immediately texted you, and I was like, we're going to be looking at Pat Connaughton as the killer of this comeback.
Yeah, so I think that's probably where we're going to end with Game 2 recap, but that's exactly what it was. It was like, holy shit, they're coming back. It's like you said, 6-7 points. And Pat Connaughton literally might as well thrown at the Suns and 4 guy. He might as well have passed it to the guy in the purple bandana who had his arm like flailing to the sky. Honestly,
I hate
I
him.
love him.
He looked like a Skip Bayless if Skip Bayless didn't have his job right now. If Skip Bayless loved LeBron, that's what that guy would look like.
No, if Skip Bayless decided to take a bunch of Molly and go to Coachella and live in India for a couple weeks, that's what he would look like. Because I think that guy was like, "Yup, this is the peak of my existence. I'm just going to take an escalator into Heaven's Gates."
I wonder if he knows he was on TV.
Yeah, there's no shot he done it. He didn't. All right, and then after games 1 and 2, so I want to end this with this, but then to segue into game 3. Drew Holiday goes 11 for 35 from the field. He goes 1 for 7 from 3-point attempts. And then game 3 comes around and we're like, okay, it's like Drew Holiday bashing season. It's time to give him the cloak of shame. And then he plays really well, but it also is well enough for Giannis to not have to just become abused. And it was incredible. Giannis had 41 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 13 of 17 from the line. And that was that. And like just to mention, to give Drew Holiday some praise as well, he had 21 points, went 8 for 14 from the field. But a big difference was he went 5 for 10 from 3.
Yeah, and I think he was like plus 21. Mm-hmm. I think he had the highest outside of Giannis, plus minus on the team. He finally did what I thought he was going to do this whole series. I couldn't have been more wrong. I'll own up to that, but. You know, he proved that he's no slouch, which, you know, I think we knew that, but...
Well, I don't know if we didn't know he was going to be a slouch, because I pretty much, after game 2, I was ready to start the episode of, would you like to apologize to the fans for the absolute bull...
Oh, no, I won't apologize for it. I will not apologize for being bold and different, but I'll admit when I'm wrong. There's no fun in being basic. I enjoy being bold and being different, but when I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong.
I was honestly scared for you. I was scared for you. He was, he was garbage. Let's be honest. He was
Hey, people have said crazier things. I mean, at least I don't pick Andre Iguodala with the death beam pointed at her.
Okay, but as far as OK Takes goes, we have to keep the people in mind. We're men of the people. And we were close to straying them into some dangerous territory, but it is all solved now. All of this is gone.
He's all right. He played well finally, and I'm okay. I'm okay now.
Big part of this game as well, Scott Foster. Look, Scott Foster being the ref doesn't affect Booker in the sense of him going 3 for 14 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. That's not Scott Foster. I'll be honest. A lot of the shooting, that's not Scott Foster. What is Scott Foster is Aiden picking up 4 fouls really early on, and then we just have to watch Giannis go to town.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Devin Booker played a really bad game. You know, you're going to have nights like that. I don't think it's anything to read into, but yeah. I hate when the whistle takes control of the game, and that's kind of what they set the tone early on.
Just little interesting caveat: Chris Paul is 0-12 in playoff games officiated by Scott Foster.
That guy clearly hates Chris Paul.
I should have, and you know what? Shame on me for still betting the Suns, even though knowing that there's no chance. You got to look. We're sabermetrics guys. We might be kind of dumb. I might have gotten a C- in econ. But you got to look at the stats. You got to look at the numbers. And that was the whole game.
It's almost like you have to look at like betting against Italy when they've won 34 in a row.
Line. I don't know what to say. I have no comment. I pass.
That's all right. Okay. Let's keep going into game 3.
Okay. And then what else were some of the big takeaways you had from game 3?
Like I said, disappointing from Booker. Honestly, disappointing from Chris Paul. I didn't see. What did he? I think he shot like 1 for 6 from 3. Also 1 for 8, something like that. Devin Booker was like 1 for 7. But like I said, these guys are gonna have off nights. You're not gonna play perfect every game. So, you know, the Bucks needed this one. They got it, and now if they win Game 4, we really have a series on our hands. But you know, this is going to be a good one. I had a feeling this was going to be a deep series, and I still think it will be.
I still think it's going to be Suns in 5, But
You're riding
yeah,
with
5.
5.
But DeAndre Ayton, I just hate to say it, but that was it. As soon as DeAndre Ayton got into foul trouble, you now let.
Yeah,
It was because there was no rebounding. I mean, let's just be honest. We're really going to rely. Like, there's no reason Frank Kaminsky should be getting big minutes.
Frank the Tank.
He's just going to be the guy that's going to chug beers after winning the big games. Everybody's like, he's going to shove Patrick Beverly into the next state, but he shouldn't be getting minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. He shouldn't be getting minutes. It's unfortunate that they don't have Saric anymore. That's kind of the reason he's playing. So they'd probably rather have Saric on the court.
Because now it's the take of, is Dario Saric the most important player on the Suns? Because it almost feels that way.
Yeah, yeah, he might be. And also, Torrey Craig is, I know, dealing with an injury. That kind of hurts their depth too.
Yeah,
He's a
this
good player.
plays right into the Bucks' hand. This really did. This game was Giannis is just going to take. This is going to be the Giannis takeover. We're going to need Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday to hit shots, and that was kind of it. The only thing that Suns fans can have after this one, because I'll throw myself in that category. I'm temporarily a Suns fan. The only thing we can hold on to is the poster.
That was good.
PJ Tucker got teabagged. There's no two ways about it.
PJ Tucker, I don't know about that guy. Everyone was praising him at that move at the deadline and picking up Tucker, but I've never been a PJ Tucker guy.
He took it pretty well, but there's just something about watching Cam Johnson. For a second it was like Jordan leaping from the free throw line. He looked like, you can't tell me that wasn't Dwight Howard.
Yeah, that was, Superman-esque.
But, just to recap, games 2 and 3. Game 2, Bountygate. Giannis just kept on getting bombed on. And then game 3 was Giannis not getting bombed on, but also having help from his teammates. And Devin Booker couldn't shoot. So that's pretty much it so far.
Yeah, pretty much sums up the final so far.
All right, so then we're going to talk some Dodgers and Diamondbacks. So let's start with Saturday. Let's start with Saturday. How about that?
Yeah, let's pretend like Friday didn't happen.
I don't even remember the game Friday. That was complete memory hole.
Yeah, Saturday was incredible. 2 grand slams, 2 sets of back-to-back home runs. Pujols homered twice. I think Pollock homered twice. That was probably the craziest Dodger game I've ever seen. Was it crazier than the World Series game that Muncy hit that walk-off? Probably not, but that's unfair because it's the World Series. But craziest regular season Dodger game I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was very. I couldn't.
You were there, yeah. Why am I talking? You should talk. You were there. Go. How was the atmosphere?
Okay. It all started pre-game. I've been to batting practice a couple times. Never caught a ball. I actually caught a ball. I did it.
Oh yeah, that's a win automatically.
It was, and I even got a little nice catch from Moneyball Steve. So the definition of if you know, you know. That is the Michael Jordan. That is like the Babe Ruth of catching home runs in batting practice at Dodger Stadium. So that's the go. So it started off with great vibes from there, and it only got better because the Dodgers. I just can't believe it. 22 runs. 8 home runs to set the record. That was the most runs the Dodgers have ever scored at Dodger Stadium. So there's 2 things I want to talk about from just the actual fan experience. One thing I forgot from not being around fans at other games is the whole ballroom thing. Because I was in a war for legroom for about the first 3 innings of the game between, it was like me versus a 65-year-old lady. And I'm telling you right now, if it's my balls versus your hoo-ha, my balls will win 10 times out of 10.
They better.
I will box you out. I'm just going to let you know, I will box you out to let the boys hang.
Yeah, that goes without saying. They deserve some breathing room.
Yeah, it was like back and forth, and she just gave up. And and then the second and final point I wanted to make was, if you've never just moshed with a bunch of dudes after a home run, I feel sorry for you.
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's such a good feeling.
If you've never tried to throw your friend into the next row, then that's probably probably greatest way to like doing the classic like come on, yeah, like the fist pumps. That's great. But have you ever like really grabbed a friend by their collar and just shook them back and forth so it looked like they were just convulsing?
I mean, yeah, that's always fun. Getting a mosh pit after a big home run.
8 of those things. 8.
Yeah, you got to do it 8 times.
But
did it get boring after like the 5th one?
It didn't get boring, but I just got so tired. I was like, it's kind of an indictment of how out of shape I am. But there was one that I will never forget on my deathbed. This is going to be the last thing that's going to pop in my head before pushing daisies. And it is going to be the Albert Pujols home run against Josh Reddick.
Oh, yeah. That was incredible.
Yeah, so I mean, when you're at the time that it was happening, you're like, why the hell? You're frustrated because the Diamondbacks are bringing a new pitcher. It's like, just finish the inning. Like, I don't get why we have to take up more time because, like, the game was already running late. But then you see Josh Reddick strolling on to the mound, and the cameraman on the jumbo screen, he started to zoom in. You're like, no fucking way. No fucking way. And I don't even get the point of him pitching because he's just throwing lollipops up there. It was the softball scene from Bad News Bears where he literally the kid just says fuck it and just to screw over his dad and just literally softballs it, hits the sky, and then obviously the big fat lefty takes it 300. Pretty much the same thing Pujols did.
Yeah. And I mean, also the cherry on top was what Josh Reddick did today. I don't know if this is a good segue or not into today's game, but Justin Turner hits a ball. I thought it was going 500 feet. It dies at the track. Josh Reddick is there waiting, and in and out of the glove.
We have to give some context for the situation as well. It was bottom of the 8th, down 1-4, or down 4-1, and it was the most sad.
And the bases were loaded, right?
Bases loaded, down 4-1, 1 out. Just sallied it.
He just took his eye off the ball, probably.
What a shit show. And it just feels so good. It really does feel so good watching him fail.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then that led to us tying the game that inning. And then Max All-Star Muncy hitting a walk-off. I mean, is there anything else this guy needs to do to prove that he's the best first baseman in the National League? Like, what else does he need to do?
The only answer is just to... there is no answer. He's the best. There is no answer to this question. Max Muncy is the best first baseman in the MLB.
In the MLB?
Let's take it there.
Who else plays first base in the American League?
I don't care. I'm just going to make that statement now. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll back it.
Yes, that was one of those things where you see the big swing and then Josh Reddick, because it was it was the Holy Trinity. It was the home run by Pujols, it was him dropping the ball, and then him not even flinching, watching the ball soar over his head in right field.
He did not move a single step when that ball left the bat.
I think
everybody in that crib knew it was going.
It was like click with Adam Sandler, where Adam Sandler was pointing to him and just pressed the pause button.
Yeah, he got big time paused.
Watching that happen, and then we see ourselves just slide into the All-Star break, only at 56 and 35, 2 games behind the Giants, 4 games in front of the Padres.
And we have a stretch coming up where we play the Giants 7 times in a span of 10 games. And I will be at 1, maybe 2 of those games. So I will be in full-on, like, fuck the Giants mode. If I'm not already. Like, I will be in full-on fuck the Giants mode at that game.
This is the momentum swing we needed. And just ending the All-Star break with 29 runs in the past, or with 2 games, 29 runs. You could not have asked for anything more.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, perfect way to go into the break. Little walk-off, comeback win. Now enjoy. Some players get to enjoy time with their family. Some get to go play in the All-Star game. So, yeah, this was the perfect way to end the first half of the season.
And it's a perfect way to end the show. Let's end on some positive vibes.
Yeah, perfect.
Positive vibes only. All right, so that concludes episode 6 of OK Takes. So we went over the finals, games 2 and 3. We talked some Giannis Bountygate, and then we talked some Giannis getting revenge and having Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton step up. So then we dove into, we're just mentioning, Dodgers incredible past 2 games, 29 runs. Saturday set the record for the most runs in Dodger Stadium ever with 22. And that's it. That's the show. So those of you that would like to, and we hope you do, you can follow myself on Instagram and Twitter at MattWeiner20. And then you can follow Edward on his Instagram and Twitter at Edward_Vento. So once you're done doing all that, who cares? Just follow OK Takes Pod. Appreciate it a lot. Help us tremendously. Get you all the updates and highlights of what's going on around the league as well. So you can find that on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OK Takes Pod. That's OKAY Takes Pod. Super quick, 1 click, and that's it. All right, thank you guys so much for joining, and have a wonderful day.